How's it going everyone? Welcome to Double Pebble and we are back with another review for FO4, which is the game that I'm going to be focusing on more from now on. And we are looking at a player that is highly recommended by Suzuki. Basically, he swears by this player, Pavel Nedved, and he has recommended him to me. I have used him in my first team ever since. So today is my turn to recommend him to you guys. Alright, so we'll start off by looking at his stats. Okay, now the thing I like most about players is this hexagonal diagram, right? We want the shape to be as close to a hexagon as possible. Obviously that means that the player is all-rounded lah. So for strikers, normally you have a straight line here, you don't have the defense part, and then for attackers, perhaps the shooting and the dribbling will be a bit lacking. Alright, but for midfielders, right, the closer it is to a hexagon, the better it is. And for Nedved, as you guys can see, this hexagonal diagram is pretty hexagonal. Probably only physical and defense is not very high. Nonetheless, let's take a look at his stats. Okay, now his natural position is left mid and cam, but I personally use him as a central midfielder. As you guys can see, for cam and center mid, the overall actually increases by 1. In fact, he can play center forward as well, 91. Alright, so for CM, first thing you notice, he's got very good stamina. That's very important, especially manager mode where your midfielder's stamina will really deplete. Dribbling is high, ball control is high, his tackling is okay, not very good. Okay, short passing is good, finishing is above average, and then his long passing is also very good. Long shot is insane, 95 for long shot, 90 for interception, positioning is 92, vision is 93, reaction is 94. He's even got some pace to him, 89, 84. Shot power is freaking 98, volley is 92, crossing is 90. And his free kicks is 93, short curve is 93. It's quite crazy on the stats. Agility is 86, balance 83, and then his aggression is 90. He's got a little bit of strength to him at 80 and very high composure. Work rate is okay as well, high mid, more of an offensive player. In terms of traits, he's got loads of them. Okay, he's got the powerful driven free kicks, early cross. Okay, he's got the preferred long shot. This is very important for manager mode. Speed dribbler also for manager mode, playmaker also for manager mode, and of course corner specialist. Price wise, he is not very expensive. In fact, the price has really tumbled quite a lot from a high of almost 50 million. Now it's half price, 27 million. Alright, so now go into the in-game analysis and see how good Pavel Nedved is. Okay, like I said, his natural position is either as a wide midfielder, a left mid, or a cam. Although personally, I'm using him as a central midfielder. This is because for me, I feel that as a wide midfielder on the wings, right, he is a little bit lacking in pace. 89, 84 is not very fast for a winger. But for a cam or a CM, that pace is considered pretty fast. So that is why I think he is more suitable for either the cam role or the CM role, and I find that he likes to burst in from deep quite often, and with that speed, right, it helps him to really stay in front of the defender. His dribbling is also very good. Okay, this is for people who prefers to dribble with their players. His ball control, dribbling is very good, and as you guys can see, I did attempt to try and do some dribbling with him from time to time. It is really very important because in the midfield, especially against the very strong players whereby their pressure is very high, you need to be able to have players who are able to twist and turn away from trouble. He's also got very good passing ability, able to pick up passes from all over the pitch, and he's got the high vision stats to help him increase his pass accuracy as well. I also feel that he tends to get into open positions a lot. Now, I've tried a lot of central midfielders. There are certain midfielders that will see a gap and automatically move towards the gap and make himself available. And there are players who just don't do that. So for me, NHD, Petit, and TT Pavel Nedved has this trait to them whereby they will sense a opening on the pitch and feel that area, or they will just move around and make sure that they are open. In this sense, it's very important, especially against the very strong players, whereby pressure is high, you need passing options and you need it fast. So that is something that for me is one of the key selling point of Pavel Nedved. I personally feel that he is one of the best player to link the midfield and the attack together. Alright, his shooting is also very scary, okay, with high finishing, high long shot, high shot power, short curve and volley. Basically, he can score all sorts of goals, but the most common type of goals that he scored are long shots, courtesy of his position. He's a CM, so most of the time he'll run in from deep and score long shots, and you will see this very often in manager mode. He's also got some good defensive stats as well, very decent tackling, high interception and aggression, although I have to say in 1v1 it's not that obvious yet, which I will cover in the weakness section later. He is also two-footed if you don't realize it, which is why Suzuki recommended him, because he likes his players to be two-footed. So Nedved is two-footed, which means that it doesn't matter whether he's on the left or on the right. He can do the driven shot, he can do the curler, doesn't really matter, he can shoot from all angles. 4-star skills move is also a good bonus to have, since with the 4-star skills I can do most of the skills, and my favorite skills are of course the heel flick, roulette and rainbow. In fact, I'm using a lot of the roulette recently because it's so effective when you bust it out and then the defenders will just panic and put in a random tackle. That is very effective in this game. Weakness, it's actually two of them for weakness. First thing is his strength. Now he's not weak, but neither is he tanky, somewhere in the middle, which means that sometimes he still will get out-muscled by stronger players, okay? Although personally I try to refrain from letting my players get into physical tussles with opponent, be it they are strong players or weak players. That's just my style lah. You know, I don't want to really go 50-50 with other players. In manager mode, you really can see the difference between a high strength player and a low strength. For example, if you compare Petit and Nedved, right, you really can tell the difference. In 1v1, I personally feel that the defensive side of Nedved is not that obvious or not that good, because in the sense that he does come back to defend, but he hardly gets into a position where he can make tackles, and it's something that I cannot explain. Like, certain players just can always make tackles and there are certain players that just can't. One good example is between Alexandro and Luke Shaw. Although Luke Shaw's stats are better, right, he just can't seem to get into tackling position. But Sandro is always making tackles, something that I cannot explain. So same thing for Nedved, he doesn't really get into tackling position, but that is for 1v1. For manager, right, I watched some of the matches and he is quite good in tackling and he tackles quite often as well. Overall, I'll say I'll give Nedved a solid 8.5 out of 10, and many people are using him. I personally think that he brings a lot of balance to the midfield. Like, Vieira is the defensive one, and then we have Bullet, who is ultra offensive, and then you have somebody like Nedved, who is kind of like in the middle for me, although he's more of a cam. But when I put him in CM, right, he tends to really hang in between Gullit and Vieira. So it's almost like Petit, but it's a more technical version. So it really depends on whether you want a more powerhouse kind, less technical, or you want a more technical player. Most importantly, right, he is very effective in manager mode. Almost every single good manager teams will have a Nedved in their manager squad, and he really scores tons of goals. I dare say my Nedved scores more goals in manager mode compared to my strikers. Alright, is he worth it? 27 million considered quite cheap. I think 1 week of saving is enough to get you 27 million. I personally think that he is ultra worth it. Alright, I think there are 4 meta midfielders in FO4 currently lah. After they release the golden rookies, I think things will change. Currently, I would say Petit, Vieira, Bullet and Nedved are the 4 meta midfielders, and Nedved is by far the most balanced of these 4. And I'll say, right, the best 3 midfielders to use currently would be Vieira, Nedved and Gullit. When the golden rookies come, things might change. Currently, this is what I think. The big three will be Nedved, Vieira and Hullet. Alright, and with that, I will like to end this review video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy my FO4 review video, and of course don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and also check out our Facebook and Discord as well. The links are all in the description box, and I'll see you next time.